Well, somebody wants an RA, just the three initials. They want two sets, approximately 6 inches tall. I don't know, the vinyl may be too cold, but we'll see what will happen. I'm going to have to change that font, as you can see. I think you can see it anyway. So let's find something a little bit more NRAE. Let's try that. And let's get rid of, okay, well that doesn't look right. Let's get rid of some of that. Hello. Let's get rid of this one. And that one. And try this again. N R A. There we go. I think you guys can probably see that. Yeah, you can see somewhat. So anyway, they want NRA. And let's see here, black. Let's do the outline in black. And let's do the fill in black. And let's see what we come up with here now. Now I just gotta find some kind of a font, because they didn't want the standard NRA font. They wanted something a little different, but yet not clownish. Oh, that's a little too square, too blockage. Oh, let's see here. We want it to be noticeable. We want it to be bold, but we don't want it to look cartoonish either. I think that one looks pretty darn good. However, I think I'm going to make a change here. I'm going to take away the dots there, and just put a little more space because we can put it together for them. Hey Nikki, the way they want it with the spacing once I get a cut. So that's what we'll do there. So that's kind of like where we're at so far. So we got the font. Now they're going to want two of them. Now I can either do two, just copy and paste or duplicate, or I can just run it off to the cutter and the cutter will do it for me if I ask it to do. I can arc it if I like. I can have them go up down. I can do just about anything I want it to do. However, at this point, that is about it. Now they're going to want this in like a silver metal flake or a silver metallic, other than the red or the white or the blue, or all three. They just want it all in like a silver metallic, like a very fine metal flake. Luckily enough, I have it here. So this is what we have, NRA. So I go up here to the cutter, and another screen should come up. And if the vinyl is not too cold, which I don't think it should be. Hello, here we go. Now here's the cutting screen and there's the NRA. So, I have a 15-inch piece of vinyl in play. I want to keep it at least 2 inches from the edge and at least 2 inches from the bottom. Otherwise it may cut off and the R or the NRA will be like half cut. So we want to make sure we're into the vinyl as much as possible. This would actually be the vinyl that we're looking at. And it's telling me right now that it's 20 inches long because of the spacing. And it is, where are we? 4.9 inches tall. Well, they're going to want it taller than that. So I can either go in and make it taller physically, or I can just change it right here. Alright, as you can see though, there's my 5.8, so I'm an inch bigger. I'm almost 6 inches. But it also gave me the length of 24. Now, I don't want to have to waste 24 inches of material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the done sign. I'm going to go in here. I am going to go back to the text for a minute. And I'm going to just backspace those spaces out, because we can add space if we want, just like we can take space away. Go back to the pointer. Let's go back up to the cutter. Now we have it there. I know exactly where I'm at. I've got 16.5 inches in length, and I've got 5.8, almost 6 inches in height. And that doesn't seem to be too bad. So I'm going to hit that to the send button, and if everything works right over here, this should start cutting. There we go. Now there is one. Now I can cut 2, 3, 4. I could have set it for any number I wanted to. If I actually made it smaller, I could have put 2 side by side, which I will do that now just to show you what I'm talking about. So if I can do it here with one hand, I will actually drop this down a little bit in size. I'm going to add that number to 2 and see what it did. It just gave me 2. And I dropped it down to 5 inches instead of 6. So that gives me plenty of room. And if I hit the send button, it's going to print 1, and it's going to back it up and then come over 1 and print me a second. There we go. And I think that'll be just fine. So now that that's all cut, I lift the old lever up back here. There's a lever that you're not seeing. I can lift that up, and that allows me to move this paper a little bit. I'm going to pull it out because I want to cut it off. Put that lever back down. Take my cutter here, and now this is, if it's sharp enough, which it's not going to be, so I'm going to have to put this down for a minute. Hold on. Whoop. Yeah, sure. Make a mess here, guys. What is that showing? Oh, it's showing part of the machine. There we go. Sorry about that. So if these are sharp enough, in this case it's not. I can do it with one hand, but you can tell that it's not sharp. So there we are. We now have our piece of vinyl. And I will now turn off the cutter. And you're not seeing what I'm doing here, but I'm hitting the done button, and I'm closing down this program. No, I don't want to save it. Now I'm going to take my vinyl, which is a little on the cold side, but not real cold. And we'll bring it over here for now. Now, I would normally do this on the bench over there. But as you can see, that's a little bit of a mess, so I'm just going to work with it here for now. There we go. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's lines in there where it's all cut out, and RA. And now all I have to do is peel that off. So let me get a pick. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let me get a pick. A pick. And like for instance, well, I'll do it on here. Let me move it on here. Here's an R. Now you may or may not be seeing that R, but it'll start to take shape in a minute because I'm going to take out the top part of the R. Okay. Here's the A. I'm going to take out the top part of the A. See what I mean? See how it starts to take shape? Now if I get a cutter, hold on a minute, let me get a razor knife over here, and I'll show you exactly what I'm trying to do. It's a little harder working on the soft material when it comes time to doing things like this. Over there I have a hard plastic that when you cut into it, it seals itself back up, so it makes it a lot easier for when you're cutting. Now let me find the end. There's the end. So let me cut this right off here for a minute. Okay, this is the larger one piece. So now I can actually make this a lot easier for you to see as well as me to work on. Sometimes, that is. As long as the vinyl doesn't stick back on itself and as long as everything has been cut. The metallic vinyl sometimes is a pain in the ass to work with because it's a little bit thicker, and if you don't adjust your cutter, it becomes a nightmare when you're trying to do what I'm doing here, because the letters want to peel off as I peel off the vinyl that I'm not using. And if this vinyl was to flip on me and stick on the reverse side back down, I would actually ruin this because it would stick to where I couldn't get it off. And because I don't use the silver or metallic a lot, I don't want to just keep readjusting the cutter strength, or the depth of the cut. So it's easier sometimes just to take the chance. Now, if this was a large project that I had to do for somebody, at that point I would adjust the cutter.